I'm just gonna mention this because I don't know the next time I'll get to mention it. I fucking hate camping. I don't know, I just never like sleeping outside. Every time I've gone camping, we slept in a tent. I mean, maybe when I was like really young I liked it, but as I got older, I realized that I fucking hate it. And what makes it even worse is if it starts raining in the middle of the night, or just if you're at like a camp for a week, if it's raining all goddamn week, which is what constantly happened to me. And the tents we slept in at those camps were always snake and spider infested. Then having to stay outside in the freaking heat all week did not help, and there was only one building at this fucking camp that had AC. It's like, it's 100 fucking degrees out here. We are dehydrated. Why are we sleeping outside like this? I hate camping. I just really do.
How was everybody's first full day of camp?
This whole thing isn't really my scene.
I'm Becky with a B.
I'm Noah with a no.
Oh, okay.
So before I get on talking about Camp Hideout, let me just say that going into this, I had no idea what it was. And you probably didn't even know this movie existed until you clicked on this video. I didn't know this was coming out. I never got a trailer for it. Hell, I didn't even put together that this was a family-friendly rated PG movie. But I saw it showing at a few of my local theaters, so I was just like, why the hell not? I could get another review out of it. So knowing all that, let me tell you how this movie starts out. And no, this is not going to be one of those videos where I explain the movie in detail. So the movie starts, and this girl is getting ready to go to camp. Her family makes her a goodbye breakfast, and this girl is like, I want to say somewhere around 17, 18 or older, around that area. And she asks her family, where's Noah? Cut to this kid running from the police, and I'm just like, what did I just get myself into? He, gets on the bus to the camp because the girl from a little bit ago, he knows her, and she's like her helper of some sort. I don't know. He sneaks onto the bus to get away from the cops. Actually, I think he was going there anyway. And when he gets on the bus, every kid there just looks at him like, no, he's bad. And one kid, around the same age as this guy, maybe 18, 17, puts his bag on the seat like, no, you ain't sitting here. Bitch, how fucking old are you? But then he finally finds a seat, and then he looks down at the ground and is like, I bet you wonder how I got here. Cut to him with these two gangster guys, one of them covered in like purple Joker-like makeup, and I'm like, what is this movie? And there's this whole thing with this fake Nintendo Switch where he has this like, he has one that's his, and then he has another that has like all the bad guy stuff on it, and they plan a heist or whatever. The bad guys leave him, which is how he started getting chased by the cop. And there was the old switcheroo where he has the bad guy one and they have his. And then out of nowhere, not only does Christopher Lloyd show up, but that red-haired kid from both Lifemark and Running the Bases is in this. And again, I'm just like, what is this movie? And after that, it's just another generic camp movie. But what the plot of Camp Hideout is that it's about this kid named Noah who accidentally steals an important item from two gangsters, as I already kind of explained. He hides out at a church summer camp and finds that he must protect his newfound friends after the two gangsters track him down. Which, by the way, I was not aware that this was a church camp until after the movie was over and I was looking shit up about it. Now it makes total sense that the kid from Lifemark is in it. Oh, and I mentioned how we had the bad guy's Nintendo Switch. Christopher Lloyd's character despises electronics, and he's the guy who runs this camp. And why does he hate electronics? Because his dog humped a radio tower and got electrocuted on the dick or something. I'm not even kidding. That's close to what he says happens. And then if he sees you with electronics, his dog's gonna eat you. At least that's what some of the kids are told. And he even says at one point, I just caught some kids with some contraband. Which he means a Nintendo Switch. I didn't know video games were drugs. Oh, you gotta keep all this in mind because it's gonna come back later because they all think this guy is like crazy and really creepy. But after the opening I just explained, my opinion on this movie constantly kept flip-flopping throughout. Oh, don't get me wrong, this is not a good movie. It's really bad. So for the first half of it, I thought it was gonna end up so ungodly obnoxious. You know you're in a camp movie when one of the kids our Libby friends is the fat kid who loves camp so much and knows everything about it. He even mentions at one point that he used to be a bedwetter, he wants the top bunk, and he's so damn excited when he finds out that the beds have rubber sheets. And earlier when Noah got on the bus, he was the one who let him sit down next to him, and his reaction was like, oh, right here, sit. But don't worry, he is in a good majority of this movie, he is the most obnoxious character in it, and he's got so many more jokes like that. Oh, and I forgot to mention, constantly throughout this movie, Noah will break the fourth wall talking to the audience, but every time it happens, you completely forgot it was even a thing. And then for the second half of the movie, I honestly thought it was completely fine. There weren't as many jokes that annoyed me, the fat kid took a chill pill, and I was getting kind of jealous of this camp. They gotta sleep in cabins, they gotta do whatever they wanted at this camp, and they gotta play paintball. I was like, wait, this is church camp? Where the hell was this camp when I was a kid? The camp I went to sucked! There is one point where they have a food fight and all the kids get covered in ketchup and mustard, but the ketchup really does not look like ketchup. I was like, how violent did this fight get? Then the last half completely rips off Home Alone, where the bad guys come looking for Noah at the camp and they make the exact same traps that Kevin used in Home Alone. They make the stairs slick, instead of paint cans they throw down rocks at them, they shoot one of them in the dick with a paintball gun, Noah even escapes by ziplining. But before all that happens, Noah has a nice heartfelt talk with Christopher Lloyd, who he thought was this creepy crazy guy, but no, he's really a very nice guy. And this is when it really started to kick in that this had to be written in the 90s, right? I mean, instead of a fake Nintendo Switch, it was probably a fake Game Boy. Instead of Christopher Lloyd, it was, well, actually, it was probably still Christopher Lloyd, and it was probably supposed to be made to cash in on the success of Home Alone. Tell me I'm right. But as for things I liked, the actors all seem to be having fun. I mean, of course they are. They gotta play paintball and a bunch of other stuff. You definitely don't need to rush out to theaters to see this, but for young kids, they might enjoy it on streaming. And even though he hasn't been in anything good in years, I still like seeing Christopher Lloyd in this. Oh no, wait, I guess that was a lie. He was in Nobody a few years back, and he was great in that. And I do think that if this movie was bumped up to a PG-13 rating, I think this idea could have maybe worked. If you switch the plot to being about this guy hiding out in a church camp to avoid the cops, and he's posing as a camper and being driven insane by the people there, this could have been a funny idea in a way. But as a whole, I don't think this movie's atrocious or anything, it's just kind of run-of-the-mill bad. My recommendation, just go watch Nobody. Or hell, go watch Ernest Goes to Camp, the original camping movie. Hey, shut up, that one's good too though. I'm gonna give Camp Hideout a D+. I don't really see this ending up on my worst of the year list, but I also haven't seen that many terrible movies, so it might. Oh, by the way, I gotta spoil the ending of this movie. You don't care, but if you're the one person who does, spoilers. So the bad guys get arrested, and the kids find out what is on the bad guy Nintendo Switch. And it's like this hologram map to something. And then we hear a voiceover from Noah saying, "So where did that map lead to?" Well, that's a story for another time. This shit ain't getting no sequel. Yeah, I know this review is kind of all over the place, but what are you gonna do? Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, turn the notification bell, and I'll be back later with a review for The Inventor, another movie out in theaters this weekend you probably didn't hear about. See you then.